1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the MUDBLOOD podcast, folks. With myself, Paddy McDonald. We have no William Thompson today, but we have a fantastic guest in to talk to us today. We have the fantastic Mr.
Jason Lear.
And for anybody who doesn't know Jason, probably won't because he's not in the comedy scene. He's not this year. But Jason is a guy who I've just met last year in the middle of the year after doing a podcast with Mr. Kieran May. He introduced me to this man and it took me interest, and he is involved with TEDx, the Black Mountain branch of it.
Yes, yeah.
And I can announce it now. I'm
doing
a TEDx talk this year in the Balmoral Hotel in June. Tickets are on sale, aren't they?
Tickets went on sale Monday night, yeah.
Monday night. And so I'm looking forward to it. It's something, another boat of my
string to your bow.
Yeah. Said that the other
Don't
week.
say I'm the talk.
That is not right. But so I'm really looking forward to it. And on Monday night, Jason invited me down where you had a competition.
Yeah.
For people to speak on the same event I'm on.
Yeah, so what we do is we curate the speakers. So obviously yourself, we targeted you, I suppose is the best way. We look for amazing stories within communities. So you were on our hit list, is the best way to describe that.
It's not the first hit list in West Belfast, by the way, could I just say?
But we also give people that maybe have this on their vision board or it's a goal and they'd love to do a TEDx talk. So we offer a competition where we invite the public to enter a competition. They send us a 30-second video and we pick. We were supposed to have picked 12 for Monday night, but there were just 15 that I couldn't. So I just said, look, it's only 2 minutes each. We'll just bring the 15 people in and give them the opportunity. So we run that competition. Then we have some judges and they choose. So whoever won on Monday night, which was a gentleman by the name of Tom Coleman, he now will speak on the main TEDx stage in June.
Yeah, he was very good, very assured. And I have to say, on Monday when I was there, it's dead strange because the first comedy I done was an open mic thing, and it was on a Monday night in the pavilion. The other night was very similar to like open mics for comedy.
Yeah, I think that's and I suppose it's that model because I said it on Monday night, you know, there's loads of research about public speaking and the 70% of people reported that they'd prefer death over public speaking, which is quite an extreme.
It is, but there's people that genuinely, and they go to me, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
And I don't even think about it. It's never came into my thing where I think I had once where I was walking out somewhere and I was sort of like, a wee bit, but not nervous, but just like, don't know how this is going to go. But even when you're doing the big ones, and it's just because I'm doing it so long now.
But I think people get. I say this. I work in the education scene a lot as well, and one of the things I would say to young people when I'm working with young people is don't be defined what other people think of you.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you get up on stage, people that are good feel that they're not defined what the audience think of them. They will feed off the energy within that audience. Yeah. But if somebody doesn't like you and somebody, you know, it's like.
Do you think it's the fear of failing, or do you think it's the fear of being judged?
I think it's the combination of both. I think it's the judgment. It's can you accept criticism in a way, because look, people that criticize online, I always say they're missing something in their life. You know what I mean? I suppose give a bit of background to this. My background is I'm a behavioural scientist by profession in the day. And I always talk around behaviours of people and when you understand behaviours and why they're happening. And I think people that abuse and throw things out on social media, they're looking for something themselves and it's attention. You know what I mean? And they're not getting that attention themselves elsewhere. So the only way they can become visual within a platform is let's just say something controversial. Let's just abuse somebody.
To see the likes or to see what people react or get a reaction from the person.
So they aren't as interested in the thumbs up. They're just interested in that people are reacting. Yeah. So it's the same outcome. It's just, you know, in reality, you're getting attention. So they're seeking attention and they're getting it.
Yeah.
And I think some people would find that very difficult to deal with in their personality. So they stand up on stage and, 90% of that audience could think they're amazing, but the 10% that decide that they weren't, or even the one person that decided that they weren't, that's very challenging to deal with. And I think that's the thing, is that it's that real fear of that. Whereas, you ask my wife, sometimes I'm going out the house, she's going, what the hell are you wearing? I'm going, I'm wearing what I'm wearing. I don't give a shit what other people think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get
that
you.
doesn't go.
I get you. And it's took me a long time, I think, because I've put myself out there. Once you go out, and I think that's what it is. Like the other night, once they walked on the stage, they were like, right now I'm putting myself out here. And they probably done the 2 minutes in front of a mirror back home, and it was fine. And they're like, I'm ready. Yeah. There's none of them the other night that turned up there that didn't think they were ready. And then when you go up there, it's just the factors. And I think a lot of people look at certain people in the audience, and the other night I went to myself, I hope somebody doesn't look and go, fuck, there's your man, the comedian. Is he going to talk about me in the podcast? And that genuinely came into my head.
Yeah.
And I went, I hope I don't put anybody off there because they think that. Because I would never judge anybody. The fact that somebody's willing to get up there and stand straight away, I have admiration for them.
Yeah, and I'm the same. I think that's the big thing about the TEDx platform for me. I love the whole TEDx concept. I love the stories, the ideas, and the change that comes with amazing stories. And one of the things I had said is I want to bring, I've worked in this education scene for years, and I'm going, I want to bring that to West Belfast. People might work out my accent. I'm not exactly a Westie.
Are you not?
I'm a bit of a blow-in.
Jesus, we sort of accepted you. I just thought you were part of our tribe.
Well, I'd class myself as a Westie now, let me tell you, because 33 years I've lived here. And
you probably lived here longer than you've lived anywhere else.
Yeah, I did. So I was born in Wales and moved here when I was 21. So I've actually lived here 10 more years than I did in Wales.
But do you think the Welsh and the Irish have a connection?
Oh, look, I think it's similarities in that whole Celtic.
100%.
Apart from us balloons deciding to vote for Brexit, you know what I mean, over in
listen,
Wales, but we were sold up a river there.
I think everybody was. The what surprised me the most about that Brexit thing was the fact that they got minors and stuff like that, but they hit them more.
But that was, people don't understand, that was all based on behavioural science.
Yeah.
So they brought a team in behind that, and the easiest way to get what you want is create division. You know what I mean? They were never going to sell their idea.
No.
In the basis of unity. It was always going to be on division. So what they had to do was divide and conquer. Yeah. And that's literally what they've done.
It's what Trump's done in America too.
Yeah, and that's what they do.
He was like, I'm going to bring all this back. It's going to be America again. It's going to be this America's great again. And it hasn't worked.
And what you find is, like in political voting environments, whenever you're trying to manipulate a vote in some shape or form, if you can create division, what happens is the middle ground tend not to vote. They abstain.
Yeah.
So then you're only dealing with the extremes, and you just need to get your extreme to a few more home and dry, because the people in the middle get sick of it, and then
I think here in this country, the way the politics and stuff is, it's like you vote this or you vote that.
Yeah.
And as I've got older, I look at a lot more what's this person doing, or what are they trying to achieve, and what the I like that they're doing that I think's good, But you have that whole thing where then you have the element of the politics things comes into it, and you go, but if that's what they're trying to achieve, I don't want. But if that's what they're trying, I don't want. And it's really hard for that.
Yeah.
Like in this country,
I think generally, you see political manifestos and you go in, right, I agree with that. And then they get into power and they just want to put it through a shredder.
You know, and you're going, what's going on here? Yeah. Where did it go? And like, there's another guy that's talking on the same one as me, and it's Paul Doherty.
Yes.
And I know Paul from school. He was a year above me in school. He was a very talented musician when we were at school and stuff like that. He was always a good guy. Never, he's one of them people that I did a run about with him. No, wouldn't have been standing. Didn't really get to know Paul. But the work that he does in West Belfast.
Oh, look, it blows my mind.
And I seen somebody putting up a negative comment about him, and I was like, I understand me getting a negative comment, but the likes of somebody like Paul, and you're going, hold on a wee minute. Like, And
that's that thing, isn't it? It's that one person, it's that two person. And if Paul was the type of person that was influenced by that, we could lose Paul in our community. You know what I mean? And when you think of the good that he does, the absolute, he blows my mind.
There's a guy online, and he sits on a sofa and he has his top off and he's eating biscuits and he's a big belly, and he'll have like a downhill skier, a top tier athlete collapses on the thing, and he goes, "Fucking loser." And I went, "That's so popular. That guy's getting so popular because he is showing exactly the type of person that's the person that's saying that about Paul or saying that about anybody online when they're doing something is the person that's sitting doing nothing."
Yeah.
And they're just, you don't have to like something to appreciate somebody.
I'm working on a wee project with Paul, and I'm happy I can say this now because we're the agreement's in place. And me and Paul sat down and had a conversation one day, and I was looking at the work he was doing and some of the stuff that I do, and that was one of the very conversations we had. Was we are telling our young men and our young women what not to be at the moment. We're pointing to social media, and we're pointing to the likes of high-profile people that we don't want them to model, and we're saying you shouldn't be like that. That you're listening to too much of him, too much of her. You shouldn't be behaving that way. But nobody's actually telling them what to behave like. Nobody's giving them the model of leadership. So me and Paul sat down, and we've created a young. We're calling it Future Leaders, and we're going to take 10 or 12 young people from around the city, both sides of the divide in the city, and we're going to take 10 or 12 young people, and what we're going to do is put them through a 10-week leadership program. But that leadership program is going to be based on bringing true leaders to them to experience it. So we'll do a wee bit of training with them, a wee bit of education, talking about their values, beliefs, and attitudes. And then we will bring like a chief executive of a big company, of a local company, people that they can relate to and go, that person lives down the road from me and they own X, that they can see
In their own,
people in their own
and
community.
give them access to it.
And one of the things we're going to do then is talk about public speaking, and we're going to do a wee bit of a TEDx event in it, just for them to have a bit of fun,
them.
teach them how to speak and build confidence as well, to speak up and give them a voice. We're going to do a bit of podcasting in it. So it's about this journey of giving them confidence to express their voice, that you have a voice.
Yeah.
You just need to know how to express it in a way that isn't mimicking people that aren't good role models.
Yeah.
We want you to mimic these strong role models in your own community.
Who you can see.
You know what I mean? And look at civic leadership, like, putting Paul Doherty in front of these young people and talk about Paul's background, like pure civic leadership.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I think we get to this stage where we're all very quick to criticize young people. But if I say, keep your mouth shut unless you're going to do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know, like, what they're doing this or doing that.
Yeah.
And only from, like, a lot of people I know growing up have been very successful.
Yeah.
There's a friend of mine who came from Ballymurphy and owns one of the biggest luxury car sales companies in the whole of this country now. And he built it from nothing, and he's a friend of mine. I'll not mention his name, but he left school with no GCSEs and he is flying. And there's people like that you need to, and that's not saying that there was people like that. There's people I know who got all their GCSEs and qualifications, are very successful in what they're doing. But I think it's just one of them things where you're from West Belfast and I'm just from West Belfast, there's nothing I can achieve. But I think the young ones are a wee bit better than that now. Yeah. I do think that they know there's a lot more they can do and they are willing to do, and it blows my mind how some of them achieve the stuff that they're achieving now.
Oh, look, the ability to side hustle at the moment is great with young people. It's giving them that platform and encouragement that, look, there's opportunity out there. It's beyond your own doorstep very often. We have the internet, which gives you a global audience.
Yep.
We didn't have as youngsters. But it's that concept then of how do we help them use that ethically and responsibly.
Yeah,
in the world, because the problem is at the moment they just end up down rabbit holes, and then we see the potential banning of social media for young people at the moment. I know Spain's done it, I know Australia's done it, and I'm sort of on the fence with it because I don't think it's the right approach. But are we backed ourselves into a corner that it's the only approach at the moment?
Once you start taking stuff away, then it goes down like the black market or the dark web, and then they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, they're going to find a way to do it. And then do they get into more extreme content and things like that?
Yes, because then it's an illegal thing that there's no filters on it.
Yeah.
And it can lead them down the wrong path. Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with that or on that.
Yeah.
Like TEDx, how did you get involved in TEDx? For people that don't know what TEDx is, what is TEDx?
So TEDx is literally look up TED and TEDx on the internet.
If you don't know, it's one of them ones where I go to people, if you don't know what TEDx is, there's something wrong. But there may be people who don't know what it is.
It's the biggest global brand for ideas worth sharing. I was going to say public speaking there, but it's not really just public. It is purely around ideas worth sharing. And when I'm curating speakers and having conversation with potential speakers, or people say to me, "How would I get on a TEDx? How would I get on the red dot? How do you get that?" It's a badge of honor for a lot of people, because people that speak in, like, I'm talking high profile people that speak in the public arena constantly, that could be earning huge amounts of money, charging thousands of pounds for a 20-minute talk, would approach me and say, "I want that TEDx badge. I've never done a TEDx. I want to do a TEDx." So it's like that pinnacle.
Do you get a badge?
Well, we'll give you a week.
I'm going to hold you. I'm going to hold you there.
Well,
it's
what
like
do you do?
Blue Peter. I'm like, I want the badge. I didn't know there was a badge.
You get actually the TEDx. So on your profile, you can write TEDx speaker now.
There you go.
And you'll be sitting amongst companies such as Simon Sinek, who's one of the most popular guys in the business sector. Your Bill Gateses and all this. So they've done TED. So it's that concept of, like, I've spoken at one of these major global events. So TEDx, what TED had realised was they can only run so many a year. So they created licenses and called them TEDx's. So they were designed to be delivered in local communities.
Get you.
So you can apply for a TEDx license, which is...
Do you have it?
Yes, it's very challenging.
Do you have your driving license? Do you have your TEDx license?
My TEDx license.
Do you have your driving license?
Yes.
A driving one?
So one of the problem with it is that it's like a challenge. So they throw these hurdles at you and you're going, "I'm going to give up." And I think that's what they're trying to work out. Do you really want to do this?
Yeah.
What's your motivation for doing this?
Yeah.
And my motivation for doing this was about having a platform where we could tell amazing stories from West Belfast and Ireland, whether you're on the island of Ireland, but also bring some amazing stories into the area. Because I think that's how it works.
Good
it's
mix.
about, we want to express some stuff on a global stage and we can bring them in. So the platform itself has 45 million subscribers on their YouTube channel. And it, up until last year, it had 8 billion views. So that's the type of platform that your talks are going to end up on. This huge... Last year, we had Amy May-Dolan, who's the lead of Riverdance, speaking on the stage. We had Carl Frampton. Obviously, everybody knows Carl. And it was very interesting because Carl, I can remember Carl being very nervous about getting on the stage. And I was like, this guy's been in a ring with 40,000 people watching him fighting. That red dot scared the life out of him. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that just told me of the pressure and the value of that red dot to a lot of these people. When I was looking at this, I was going, all these TEDx's, I was doing a lot of research, they all gravitated to city centres. So it was like TEDx Manchester, city centre, TEDx Dublin, city centre. And I went, I want to buck the trend here. Yeah. I'm going to do a TEDx in West Belfast. Mm-hmm. And I can remember in the very early days, some of my business associates and friends were going, nuts. Yeah. Why would you pigeonhole yourself?
People say that to me about comedy in West Belfast too.
And my response was, I've lived here for 33 years. The community has been unbelievable to me. It's given me opportunity. I was that person that you spoke about earlier. I left school with no GCSEs. I ended up washing trucks, built my way into a very good career in the motor trade, come away from that to go into and what I wanted to do was work in education and behavioural sciences. So Jason had to go back to school when he was 27 and realise, I need my Mars in English. And so the area and local communities. So it was like a people first, Ronan Heenan, putting me on a pathway to education, supporting me, got me into, he gave me my first contract in terms of self-employment and things like that. So I'm going like, this community propped me up, give me opportunities, because I think if I was still in Wales, and my family would say this, I possibly would have been one of those people that fell down the wrong side of a pathway, because there was no job opportunities, very little in the area. All coal mining villages, it had been decimated by previous Conservative governments in terms of ripping up our whole industrialisation of Wales. And so when I come here, I'm going, I want to run that. This is for a community that's been good to me. So I want to run it in West Belfast. We're going to tell some amazing stories from the area and bring those in. So we have some brilliant people coming in. Like, there's an amazing girl. Nobody, if you want to see personal brand and an absolute powerhouse of personal brand and marketing, there's a lady by the name of Amelia Sodell, and based in London. So what I've done is I want to tell 2 stories of personal branding. So we have a local guy by the name of Martin Irvine, unbelievable, absolutely photography, imagery, really powerful in that personal brand. But then I went, I want another version of that. So we're bringing in a mate. She's flying in from London. And again, people don't realize you don't get paid and there's no expenses in TEDx.
So there's no incentive for these people to come.
It's just the platform they'd want. And I can remember having a conversation with Amelia's agent, and then I've since had conversations with Amelia, and she was like, "Where do I sign up? What date? What's the play?"
She would be very similar to me in the sense of people go, "Where were you gigging?" And I'm like, "Ottawa in Canada," and they're like, "Are they going to get you?" And I went, "Well, that's fine out."
Yeah,
you know, it's if you don't go and you don't know, you know, and now you're going to I'm going to places and people's going, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're going, "That's insane," but it's also for your personal development. You want to do these. You want an uncharted thing. Like she's probably going, "I'll look up West Belfast," and she probably types in West Belfast, and the first thing's going to come up is burning buses on the road. But then, in the same sense, now when you look at like West Belfast, it comes up Anthony Boyle, and an actor, and Lola Pettigrew, and all, and you're going, "Oh wow, look at all these people that's coming from West Belfast," and it's just now, and people's like, "Whoa, why is there so much happening from West Belfast?" And you just go, "There always was. It was just we never had the opportunities."
Like even like some of the stories that we know these people are in our communities, but none of us have really understood the stories behind them either. Because like Paul Doherty, we all know Paul Doherty from what we see in the newspapers, what we see as the politician, and you know the food stock charity. But there's something within that food stock charity that, yes, a lot of local people will know, but he's going to tell a story at TEDx that I know about that's going to blow your mind. Something that is, he partnered with a global brand, that the global brand is now mimicking what his idea and are going to take it in around the world. And I'm going, that seed was sown on the Andytown Road.
Yeah.
And this company's now taking it to Chicago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going, this is nuts that this guy
Came up with something.
Came up with an idea on how to overcome.
Imagine if he
food
sold
barriers.
that.
Oh, unbelievable! And I'm going, so that's an idea. That's get that on the. That's an idea worth sharing, and that's what I talk about. Paul has a lovely story, and he'd be able to stitch a beautiful story around that. But he has an idea worth sharing because other people can go and replicate what he has done and create these messages.
And if he sends that message out there and someone starts it in Glasgow or Moscow or anywhere, it's just like he has branched out from this charitable thing that can be used anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and that's so it's those sorts of stories that we're looking for and put them on the red dot. But then it's like, it's what we are trying to do as well. The problem with TEDx is that it comes at a cost. So it costs a lot to put the production on because we're not allowed to make money. It is a totally non-profit making project. So it's my passion piece. It's what I do to try and give back to what I love, which is the storytelling and the ideas and the education space. So we have to try and balance the books to a zero by the end of it. Last year, you know, our ticket pricing, you're only allowed 100 people in the room, so we're having to price tickets at 120 quid. But you had a full day of very, very powerful talks and a bit of an experience. This year, we're in a bit of a nicer space now because we've proved the concept. We had good social media coverage, you know, with like 40, 50,000 views on some of our talks. And you're going like, right, now we have something to offer, sponsored. So we changed the sponsorship profile as well, where we've turned around and says, let's get local business involved in sponsorship. So local businesses can sponsor a speaker for 350 quid rather than trying to get one big sponsor.
I need to speak to your office because I have two already for you. Because I spoke to two people about it and they were like on board. So
that they know that now we're saying, let's get local businesses involved as well, that they now can attach their brand to a global iconic brand, that their logo is going to sit alongside it on a video that could get thousands, maybe millions of views if we're lucky, but definitely thousands of views, you know. So it's that sort of concept then that we get that out there and bring it to a local community. But we've been able to reduce the ticket prices down to 75 quid this year.
Yeah, there you go.
We want to, look, our target is to try and get enough sponsorship that in a year or 2 years' time, we're charging 20 quid for a ticket, 25 quid for a ticket.
I've always tried, I always try and keep my tickets low. And this year in the SSE, there was an increase in it. And that annoys me because I'm working class and I'm like, I know that people's coming to see me and whatever, but the costs are what they are.
Yeah,
And it's now at the stage where I have to make a decision. And I love playing the SSE because it's my hometown. It's a big arena. I only have to do one night. I've done 2 nights in it, believe it or not. But it's I just feel like the costs are getting too much, and I'm going to have to charge too much for tickets. So I'm going to have to change my strategy for my own beliefs. Yeah. And it means I'm going to have to do more nights in a smaller venue, which could be like the Waterfront Hall. Still 2,000 people a time. But for me to get the ticket price that I want to get for the people. Because in my head, I'm going, I'm giving them a new show, but I want to have it accessible to people.
Yeah, I think that's the challenge. And I'm very conscious of that because I've had conversations, at the end of the day, I'm trying to bring something to the area of West Belfast. My biggest challenge is that I'm outpricing most people, and I know that. Yeah. And I know that that's a problem that I, over time, have to deal with.
I wonder, is there maybe an idea then in that there could be, do you know, like when I was at school, you would have had, people would have got a bursary or something like that, or a scholarship. I'm wondering, maybe is there a few people that, if we got businesses involved that could maybe sponsor somebody that can get a ticket that you think would benefit from coming to see the show?
Well, one of the things, there's a door's been opened for me. As the licensee, you get some doors open for you. I suppose if you're doing quality events, then doors open. So one of the doors open for us is that we can increase the numbers of people that we're allowed in. So they cap you at 100 people. But TED have said to me, look, Jason, if you come on our training program, it would be one of their main events. They train you then how to run a bigger event. Not that you sort of go, well, I don't need the training, but
you know how to do it, but they have to see it on paper that they've ticked the box. Yes,
you have to go through a process, which is
it's the same way as if you're doing your first aid course. You have to refresh it.
That's right.
Whatever.
So it's a global brand, and they're protecting their brand 100%. So they and I'm looking at that saying, right, if I could get a sponsor to send me on that program, because the program costs about $2,000, get a sponsor for that, I can up the numbers to 300 or 400 then. And then I can go, well, I only now need to charge 20 quid a ticket. Or what we could do is charge X for that, and we go to local schools and give 100 tickets to school kids or young people.
Yeah, I think just even on the program that you had, the competition for people to get there, and I've seen the interest.
Oh,
that was a Monday night. And you had a full room of people interested in that. Even though that was a free event to go to because of what it was. There's interest there.
Well, that was something that we do differently. I know a lot of the TEDx programs, whenever they run them, they just run TEDx. That's it. Nothing happens. And we looked at the program and says, we want to do pre-engagement. So what we want to do is say, not everybody can afford to go to TEDx. So let's run some small things, four events leading up to it.
Which also ties into the whole thing that you've brought it into the community in West Belfast. So it's you're staying true to what you're actually saying, which is a great thing. Do you know what I mean?
Like in April, what we'll do is run what we call a TEDx netwalk, and we'll meet up on the Black Mountain, 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, and we'll walk out to the ridge and watch the sun come up together.
Is this things that TEDx does themselves too? Or?
They would run, when TED run programs, their events will run over 2 or 3 days. And they'll have some stuff, but they tell you that you can run pre-engagement. You just what it has to be is different to TED, the main event. So an adventure, they call them an adventure. So the idea of an adventure is that we take you to do something that you normally wouldn't maybe do, and it's a wee bit different. So last year, I took a crowd of people to play lawn bowls down in Fruit Hill Bowling Club and things like that. So we just had a bit of fun.
Was it funny?
Oh, brilliant. Well, I play, so it was...
Do you?
Yeah. So that's my...
How long have you been playing bowls?
Only 2 years, and absolutely love it.
Are you good at it?
I'm all right. I was...
Tell the truth.
Look, I only played competitively last year.
Oh, you did?
And I progressed from the B team of the bowls there, and I got 2 games for the A team at the end of the season. First year into competitive bowls. So look,
that's an achievement. It's not to be sniffed at. I have never actually played that type of bowls.
Oh,
I've never ever...
See in your head, you think, oh right, just fire it down there.
I know for a fact.
Then the bias and the swing and the pitch.
I was thinking I'd be good at it because I used to throw stones and stuff like that. But it's totally different from that. It's not... but there is... It's like anything.
It's like a game of chess as well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't... Like, in the team games, there's 4 of you, so you have the front end and the back end. So the front end have a job to do. Like, it might not be tackling the jack. Your skip might go to you. I want you to try and get a foot past the ball, because what they're working on is that they might hit the jack and it'll go backwards. So they're setting up it. Yeah. It's like a game of chess. They're setting up the table, ready to come and play.
Not everybody's just trying to get close to that ball straight away.
So it's a very strategic game. And I love it because of that element of it.
The technical part.
Strategy and things like that, and watching what other
people
teams
see
do.
it as an old sport.
That's the problem, see, and this is something we're talking about in the club about getting youngsters. One of the ideas I've said to one of the guys down there, Brendan, I says, why do we not run a schools competition over the summer? Bring schools in and let them have a go at bowls and get kids try, because
that's the only way you'll
social value is brilliant. And like, there's a couple of clubs in Ireland that when we play them, the age profile, like there's us all 50 plus, and you're playing boys in their 20s. And you watch them and they're unbelievable to watch, and you're going, why have we not this in West Belfast? Yeah. But it's always the country clubs, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's little less to do, maybe.
So then
they go down with dad and granddad down to the bowling club.
Because I've dropped people off over at the bowling over at Shaw's Bridge and stuff.
Oh, it's the indoors, another game altogether.
Right. And yours is outdoor, is it?
And then we play. I play outdoor, but I've went and practiced a bit of indoor this year.
Is the outdoor summer league?
Yeah, summer league. So it'll start. Our green will open up at the end of March now.
Is there much in keeping that green?
Oh, the amount of work and the challenge of keeping those greens is unbelievable. We have a guy in literally every day of the week that...
Is he a local fella, does he?
Yeah. He's boy Peter. He's bus driver by day and then looks after the green. I mean, so that's, again, community.
Wonder is his garden as good.
We'll have to find it.
No, he'll have a small.
It's like a mechanic's car.
His wife somewhere going, that's a fucking stain of ours. He has that like a fucking.
Mechanic's car's always hanging, isn't it? Everything wrong with it.
And when you first came to West Belfast, what did you think?
We'd been afraid, I suppose, because my accent in Andytown would have created a few concerns. I know the in-laws would have said about certain jobs, they didn't want me doing certain jobs or going to certain environments because of, not having the skills of when somebody says, where are you from? And me being able to negotiate that.
And just saying...
Finicky.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
And those sorts of things. So you learn skills over the years of how to manage your environment that you were in. So way bit of fear. But look, gradually, like anything, I was very lucky, very fortunate. I married into a very strong family. Like, we still rock up on a Sunday. Like, I cook on every other Sunday, and there's 13, 14 family members in my house having a bit of Sunday lunch together. Saturday nights, we meet up for Chinese and stuff. And I'm married into, just a typical Irish family.
Get you.
You know what I mean? And
they've accepted you?
Oh, well, I don't know, but I think so.
You always have a doubt in your head, and you're going, am I or am I that? I'm the same the bottom of your foot, like Toy Story, look. I think the truth.
My mother-in-law has Alzheimer's at the moment, and it's very interesting because I think the truth's coming out now because she has no barriers. So she threw me out last night,
Did you?
Get him home.
Get him out of here. Who is he? What's he doing?
Who's that fella there sitting in the corner sleeping?
But no, it's great because there's a few people I know that have came to West Belfast and they love it. They love it, like, and they've embraced it, and West Belfast has embraced them.
Do you know what I would say? I can't remember. I heard this said. It was last night, and I can't remember where I heard it on. But I was sitting nodding my head that I think West Belfast and Belfast generally, most friendly and open people you would ever meet anywhere round the globe. And it blows my mind that there was ever a division, because like you could walk down the Falls Road and people's doors be open. You know what I mean? And your mate's taking you around and just nip in, my ma's in the house, and knock a door, and he said, no, just go in. She's in the house, sort of thing. And I said that didn't matter where you were.
Yeah.
So like, and everybody I've met, like, it's always,
no matter where they're from.
Oh,
it's crazy. I never had friends in other areas until like the comedy scene sort of brought me into them. And it's not even just comedians. Like, some of the people I'm friends with, people are like, you're what? And I'm like, they're just like me. It literally from the Shankle, from Carrick, from all these different places that you'd never. And I go in and out of Rathcoole and everywhere, and there's not a fucking thing. Tugmona, you know, literally a guy from Tugmona was on the phone the other day. We're all going to Portrush, the caravan. There's only so many tickets left for your show, so we need one extra. No problem. And I put it on, and when I give his name to, you know, the guy who's doing the show, he was like, I know who you're talking about. And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, is he a friend of yours? And I went, yeah. And he's like, what? You know, and people are blown away, but it's great that it's like that. I love that it's like that.
Look, I love that my son and daughter and my grandchildren now, hopefully this will eventually wash out over years and generations and generations, but they aren't seeing the division that we saw.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Definitely not.
Not worried about, like, even going to bars in the town and stuff, and you know, that's a Protestant bar, that's a Catholic sort of thing. It's much more. They don't see.
Yeah, there's still a bit of it.
You will always get
there's
it.
Still the scars, I say.
Yeah.
But it's definitely changing. And you know what? I go into a lot of the bars, whether it be in Tugmona or somewhere like that, and they're struggling to get people in now. Whereas them bars used to be rammed because people didn't leave their areas. Whereas now people go out for a night out. They will go into the city centre.
I can remember. I used to, one of the education programs I worked on, we were based out in Lisbon Rackets Club, and it was running a training program for young people that had just come out of school with no qualifications. And our catchment area was Polglass, Twinbrook, Ballymacash, and Tugmona, and they would have come out to Lisbon Rackets Club. And the funny thing was, you would have had what everybody else saw as a division, and this was, I suppose, really towards the tail end of the Troubles. And these young people would have come and joined us. And I had an inspector in one day come in, because you would have got government inspections. And I was confronted or pulled that some of the kids were wearing Celtic and Rangers football tops. And they said, like, we don't allow that, or that shouldn't be the case on these programs. And I went, but you have the problem here, not them.
Yeah.
And they went, why? I said, because these kids have been coming here for 6 months. Now, if those tops became a problem to the relationships within the environment, I would have dealt with it. I would have said, well, guys, if this is
causing actually
a
accept
problem,
it sitting next to them.
I said, these guys are sitting and bantering each other on the results on a Saturday in a healthy way. It's not malice. It's not nasty. They've built relationships. This is what we need to be doing. That
it's like a Liverpool and a Man United, man, 100%. Coming together. I mean, they wouldn't stop at any. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it can cause.
Yes.
But you've noticed that it actually brings them, because it gives them something common that they know.
It was an identity for them at that stage to show who they were. But eventually, over the time, it didn't cause us a problem. And I said, I'm the first to address. If it caused me a problem, I would have said, right, lads,
we're going
jerseys.
That word,
you can't wear your jerseys. This is going to be a problem.
Fights,
But it never did cause a problem. And I says that, you know, whenever you're in a classroom and you have a fella and a Celtic and a Rangers top sitting beside each other, doing their work together, helping each other out, that's what it was about for me. And so my argument was, you have the problem, not them.
Yeah.
So in that situation, I'm going, we constantly are trying to, we're getting the behaviours that we're asking for. And I think this is the thing, as a behavioural scientist, I talk about this. It's like, we talk about young people not being resilient, not being able to deal with challenges in life at the moment. And the reason for that is that we've built a society that it's too, I don't like the word soft, it's too protected as a youngster. So when I grew up as a youngster, I played sport to win. I didn't play sport to get a medal for coming last. I didn't want a medal. I wanted, when I lost, I wanted to feel a bit of pain. I wanted to go, I don't want to feel like that next week. We need to win next week. But now we've created this society where we don't do that. So everybody gets a medal. There is no winners and losers. Like, I'm watching football coaching where they don't have posts because they can't score goals because it's all about participation. And I'm going, but what you're realising when we're doing this with young people, what happens is, as a youngster, when you start to develop emotions as a young person, losing and failing are an emotion that you learn to deal with because it's happening at such a young age.
You need it to help you get stronger.
But our problem is now, what used to happen when you were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age isn't happening until you're 16, 17, 18, 19.
You don't know how
It's
to
too
do
late. This fear of loss and failure and this emotion that now builds up inside them, they have no regulation of it. So what we're doing is building a society. So we're just getting the behaviours that we're tolerating.
Yeah.
So I always say about work environments, people go, why is that person getting promoted over that person? And I say, it's about tolerance. It's manageable tolerate poor behaviour. So what will happen is I will start behaving the same way. So if I think you're coming in late and you're getting away with it, I'll start coming in late. So it's what you tolerate becomes the outcome.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening. We're tolerating things at such a level now that we are nearly mollycoddling and putting too much of a cushion, too much protection in for young people, that when they get older, they don't have any skills to deal with this. And so that's some of the things, when we look at societal problems, and that happens right throughout all the behaviours that we have.
No, I get you. I do think with some of the kids coaching, but there were some teams I was involved in where it was win at all costs.
Yeah.
Which meant leaving kids out. And I was like, hold on, some of them kids maybe aren't developing just as quick as them ones. And I've seen it over the years where the person who nobody was paying attention to but was playing, and then they become the star player when they're older,
Well, that comes down to a theory. So what happens there, that's the coach problem. So that's then a coaching problem, not so much a problem at that level, because they've lost sight of what their job is in that environment. So your job is to develop all.
Yeah.
And what happens is this thing called the Pygmalion theory. So there was a guy, researcher called Robert Rosenthal, and he done a study. He literally got 2 baskets of rats, let's say, right? And he took them into a lab and said to people, these are smart rats, these are stupid rats. I want you to get them through the maze. So I'm going to leave them with you. You're going to train them to get through this maze. And left the rats with the people, come back, and literally what he had said was true. So these smart rats could navigate the maze, and the stupid rats literally couldn't get into the maze, let alone get out of it. And he took the same experiment and went into a school, and he says, I'm going to come into this school and I have a test. And what I'm going to do with this test is I'm going to predict, I'm not going to tell you who your smartest kids are. I'm going to predict who will be the smartest kids in a year's time. So they said, right, let's do the test. So we nominated 20 kids, say, right, and pointed them out. And then after all the tests were done, obviously they got exactly the results happened that they had predicted. And the question was, what was the test you was doing? How did you work out they were smart rats and they were stupid rats? And how did you predict those 20 kids? We want to repeat that test. He says, there was no test. I just told you. And they went, what? He says, so what I done was smart rats, stupid rats. So those rats rose to the expectation you had of them because you spent more time with the smart rats because you wanted the successful rats, and you literally ignored the stupid rats because you thought they were stupid.
Yeah.
What happened in the school was that I told the teachers that these are going to be your best students. So the teachers started nurturing these young people and giving them the attention they needed, and then they achieved over the other youngsters. So I use this phrase, we raise the expectation, or young people will raise the expectation we have of them, and employees will raise the expectation you have of them. So if you expect somebody to be shite at their job and stupid, they will get a sense of that because you won't notice it, but your behaviours are telling
towards
them that. Towards them. You spend more time, there's things that go on. And I can remember when I learned about it, so it's called the Pygmalion theory. And I can remember learning about this. And I was coaching sport at the time. And it was a hard look in the mirror, let me tell you. Because I can remember learning about all this and then going to a coaching session. And you know that thing where I caught myself going, aye lads, you just grab a ball and have a kick about there a minute. I'm working with these lads. And then I went, I'm working with these lads because I think they're the boys that I'm going to pick every Saturday. These are my best players. And I've just ignored the boys that actually need me, which are the ones that need the development, need the help.
But they also might have had something that you hadn't seen because you didn't look at them.
So these boys were playing to the expectation I had of them.
Yeah.
They weren't performing.
Yeah, I might not get on. So
because they my behaviours, and I'm going, Jesus, this is a hard look at myself here. And I started then to analyse my own behaviours.
Yeah.
And I think then...
Your kids must hate you, do they?
Yeah. Do
you use it in the house? Do your kids know you know all this? They're like, he's fucking...
Well, it's the whole thing. we used to use, so the term used to be manipulation. People go, I manipulate, and I go, so what happened in behavioural science is we struck that out. We says people hate to think they're being manipulated, so we call it nudging.
Yeah.
So there was actually a book written by Cass Dunstein and Thaler, and it was called Nudge. A brilliant book if anybody's into behavioural sciences.
Yeah.
There's a book on nudge theory, and it's how people nudge and how we are manipulated. So the concept of, like, if you're trying to sell something, that if you only give one option, what will happen is you will go, do I really need it? Do I want it? If you get two options, you'll go, which one do I want? If you give three options, you'll pick one.
Yeah.
Right? So you'll go, and well, say pick one. One of those options
will suit you more.
Will jump out at you. So what they'll do is manipulate one. I'll tell you, I'm working on a project at the moment, and I'm sitting
My
there.
wife does have with dinners in our house. She asks the kids what they want.
Yeah.
And I go, stop asking them what they want.
Yeah.
Just make a dinner.
Yeah.
Because you're going to end up making 3 or 4 different things because they're going to go, oh, no, I don't really want that.
Yeah.
But if they're hungry, just put it in front of them.
Yeah.
And they'll eat it.
Yeah, and that's it. So you condition the behaviours that you want.
Yeah.
Out the other side, and that's a big thing. Like I was talking to a guy yesterday, and we were doing a program. When we were building the program, we know what we want to sell. So what we've done is created another version of it that you will go, why would I buy that
when I can get that?
Yeah. That's 220 quid, but that's only 200. But that's more than that.
Yeah.
And I'm going, it's nudging. So all we're doing is nudging you to the thing we want to sell you.
Yeah.
So we'll put another offer in front of you that sounds a bit stupid. So you go, I'm getting that. I think that's a mistake.
Get you.
I'm booking that first.
You have to do that. Yeah, no.
And the other thing you can do is like FOMO stuff where free of. So you see a lot of this, where ticket £650, 197 for 6 weeks or until this date. They're never £600. Nobody's ever paid £600 for the ticket.
Get you.
It's creating fear of missing out. You think I need to get this before it goes up to that price, before it's gone.
Yeah.
And things like that. So look, they're a whole behavioural science driven. The British government have a unit it used to be called the Nudge Unit. It's now called the Behavioural Insights Team. And did
they have to change it because it was called Nudge? Because people are like, fucking, you can't say Nudge.
Yeah.
Can't say Nudge.
And I would say, so, and then the Americans have it, the Canadians have it. So there's all major governments now have what the behavioural analysts sitting behind the government, and their job is to get you to comply with public policy. So like they increased, I think it was taxes, like people not paying the self-employment taxes. And the letters are written now based on behavioural science. So it's behavioural messaging to get you to change your behaviour rather than saying you need to do this.
Yeah.
They give you systems of how
like
to do
it. They're writing on it. If you don't pay us by this, you're going to have this. Yeah.
So look at the messaging. You'll start to see messaging like 80% of the population have already paid their taxes. Have you paid yours?
Yeah. So you fear missing out.
So you're that.
Oh fuck! I may give him all that money under my fucking thing.
And it's like creating these social norms, around.
Yeah.
So it's like when you start to understand this messaging, you're going like it's useful. Now, it's used very poorly in social media because social media use it in creating addictive. So I call it addictive engineering. So they
phone's listening to me.
Yeah.
And of course it is. It's seeing what you're doing, and they're going to think, oh, he's interested in that. He's just spent money on that. That's
well. Think of the phone. Look at this. Look at the structure of a phone and a social media platform. So it's based on. So they use this called random variability of rewards. So human beings, we love reward systems. So that's we get our dopamine kick from it. So when you think of social media, when you click into it, you will see something that you like, and then the next 3 or 4 posts are things that you don't like, and then you scroll again, then you get another one you like, then you scroll again. Notice what it looks like? Slot machine.
Yeah.
It's based on a slot machine. The whole design is based on a slot machine.
Is
spins. Right? So it's a never-ending scroll, which was designed by a boy and it was designed on a piece of research where they realised that people consumed more if they kept filling a soup bowl up from the bottom, and they would keep eating more and more and not feel hungry.
Yeah.
Or think they were eating the same as everybody else, but they were filling the bowl from the bottom.
Yeah.
So every time they looked away, the bowl went
bottomless
up.
brunch.
Yes. And they were getting it. So he then worked out that the scroll needs to be bottomless. It needs to keep going.
Yeah, it's infinite.
And then people keep going. So what you do is get a win every now and again.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, right. So then, but you don't know when the wins are coming. Exactly the same as a slot machine. So the behavioral scientists design that to be that way because they know that you get addicted to that. That it's a thing called addictive engineering. So it's designed to make you addicted.
It's nuts.
You know what I mean? The whole thing, and people don't realize this. That one of the talks I do is, "Are you in control?"
Do you have this conversation with your kids, and then at the end of it, go, "All right, Daddy, you can just have my phone." Fuck's sake, I didn't need all. Right. This is at the end of the day very fucking interesting. I remember that day I sat and had a coffee with you, and I went home and I was like, I need to speak to that man a hell of a lot more to find out a hell of a lot more about what. Because it's true. Because I've changed my mindset.
Yeah.
And once I changed my mindset, it changed my fucking life.
Yeah.
Completely. Wouldn't say I have it perfect. There's a lot more I could fucking change and do. But 100% what you can do when you change your mindset is fucking frightening.
Oh, look, if you take things, try and spin things to see the positives out of it, you know, the failure is just a message. You know, Edison, who invented the light bulb, said, I never failed in my life. I just found 10,000 ways how not to make a light bulb.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is, today, I didn't fail today. I just found out that customer's not for me.
Yeah. Well, I say, in my head, I go, when your car tells you, when it comes up and there's a failure to work light in your car, once you go and get it fixed, it works better. Yeah. So, and that's the way I look at it, and I do. But, yes, as I say, folks tuning in, I know it's not your typical sort of MUDBLOOD podcast, but I think it's very important to come out. It's a big thing because obviously I'm going to do the TED Talk. If you don't know what it is, you can go and check it out. There's a lot of things you'll see that you'll be interested in. There's not TED Talks about just one thing. They're about everything. And you'll sit and listen and it'll be 15 minutes. If you only watch one, it'll be 15 minutes that you'll be glad you watched because it'll be something that you'll get out of it.
Oh, look, we have an amazing lineup of speakers, as I said, you know, including yourself and that, Paddy, and it's a lovely mixture of people that you will know, people you won't know. Yeah. But with amazing
It's a different day
ideas.
too. Yeah. It's a different thing altogether. Yeah. So we'll put the link up. You can get a ticket. If you're ever interested in it, I would say that you can get Jason on somewhere and check out the branch and stuff like that. But I'll ask you a couple of questions just before we quit here. And what's the funniest thing about West Belfast that you didn't have where you were back home, or something that we do that blows your mind that is so West Belfast?
Do you know what? Some of the, like in the early days, it was the terminology. You know what I mean? Like goodies and all that, like all the sayings, like the slang. And then people were saying things like, what the hell is this? Wasn't like goodies.
It's like a language.
It literally was a foreign language to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And everybody talking about your man and all this, you know, who's your man? But everybody was your man.
You know your man. You know your man.
And it's things like that. But what I noticed was that you would be out with people and you would go, you know your man. And I was the only one who didn't know they were talking about. Everybody else in the group actually knew who it was.
And you're going, how did they know?
How did they know? Because of the context that they said. You actually knew who your man was. So things like that, I think the terminologies and having to get used to that.
Is there any terminologies you use now? Them all?
Yeah, literally them all. Goodies. Now I go looking for my goodies. Use we a lot and things like that.
A wee at. And people pull me on that all the time. I don't say. So I went down, we had a wee conversation over a wee cup of tea, and they're going, what size was a cup of tea? Like, because they don't
even at us now. You know what I mean? Catch myself saying that.
100%.
So definitely the terminologies rub off very, very quickly on you. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, Jason, for coming in and giving the talk. As I said, I was really interested in it the other night, and that was 15 people that I wouldn't have seen. Now, at the end of the night, I was standing talking to Tiernan and Noel, and one of your judges, I'm not going to name her because she says, I hope I don't end up in the podcast of this, right? And she came over and she was like, how's it going? You weren't up talking tonight? I says, no. She says, what's your name? I told her. And she says, what do you do? And the 5 people that was there sort of went, are you joking? And she was like, she genuinely had no idea who it was. And she was like, and I was like, it's dead on, it's fine. Here's just something. Where do you do it? Like, is it like a hobby thing at the weekend? And Noel was like, do you want a bigger shovel here? But you forget that you just think that everybody doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, if some people's not into comedy, so they wouldn't know who you are.
It's like when I say TED, I say to people, "Do you know TED?" And they're, what's TED? And I go, "You don't know TED? Like you're talking."
Yeah, and look, it's a massive thing.
Yeah.
I even knew what TED
yeah.
was. Like I'm but I knew what TED was, and I knew that it was a talk, and I had seen so many high-profile ones
Yeah.
that I hadn't seen some of the smaller ones. And I think the other night, what it made me do was go in and I looked at a few,
Yeah.
and I went, "You don't just look for the big guys. You know, there's a lot of real good ones on there. That's just things. You know."
If we could leave a message today, it is jump onto YouTube, look up TEDx Black Mountain,
Yeah.
go and look at 16 talks from last year. We had amazing. Like there was a girl, Mairead Loughlin Ryan, local girl from, I think it's Polglass or Twinbrook area. This girl was a mental health nurse who come to do a TEDx talk, and because of the strain on the NHS, she left her work at 2:00, was on the stage at 2:30, and was back in work an hour later.
Screw.
She could only get out of work to come and do her TEDx because they were under so much strain in the end. And I said that it was just
Mind blown.
you know what I mean? That
Yeah, that she was like, that I don't have much time, and normally would have to
she
go on
tells
to.
an amazing story about religion and Mickey Mouse. She went to St. Dominic's School and she talks about going away, and that it was when they become disconnected from the internet that they actually become real friends.
And did she talk anything about the mental health?
Yeah, well, it was. I think it was really the message was about how to connect to people properly,
Right.
and it was lovely, really powerful talk. Mairead Loughlin Ryan,
Sounds smart.
you know,
Go on,
and
check it.
and all of them. There was some amazing Shelley Cowan, but go in and just watch those
Watch them,
16
and you
talks,
see it.
and you'll be blown away. These are people. Yes, some people
From different
came in,
backgrounds,
like
yeah.
Paul McVeigh flew in, the footballer
Yeah.
from West Belfast, had flown in to do his talk. So, like you listen to some of these, and you just be blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, Amy Mae Dolan was more, I think, Tyrone direction, Armagh direction, but she had come up into Belfast to do her talk. I think most of her training had been up in Belfast, but bringing her story into the area, because everybody just sees a dancer. It's like nearly, she was designed this way. She was born on a stage. And when you actually find out that what her life and how she choreographed her own life, and that was what her story was, you're going like, this is nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't know this about these people.
Yeah, and I think that's what interests people is knowing the background of people. Stuff. Jason, thank you very much.
Thank you. How do you delight it?
No, 100%, and I look forward to it in June. I really do.
Look, we're delighted to have you as a speaker. I know when your name cropped up and I went, do you think you could do it? And we had that coffee and I just loved the story because I'm still curating and I think that's one of the strong things about me. I'm not afraid to say that guy's not right for me either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it's not right for the TEDx stage.
But listen, the two guys with the gun that says he's doing it, and you were like, yeah, that's right. You accepted it. But Jason, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And speak to us all soon. So TEDx is one thing. Also, check, when is this going out?
Next Friday.
Next Friday. So next Friday, I will be in Larne, and there's about 20 tickets left. So hopefully they're all sold by then. Amazing. Go to Larne. There's a fucking club there called the Reading Rooms, and it was like the GAA club. And you walk in, there's this 300-seater theatre. There's fucking nobody. That's maybe one for you. In Larne. It's called the Reading Rooms. It's in like a GAA club. It's like a Catholic chapel hall. But I walked in last year and there's a 300-seater theatre and we cry out for places to play. And I went, you wouldn't even know this is fucking here.
I'm telling my daughter to contact you about running a comedy club down in the Falls Bowling Club.
Well,
the back room in there.
I done one in Carrick. No, Jordanstown. Do you know Jordanstown? You probably played on it. The bowling
yes,
club.
bowling club, yeah.
And now the ceiling's too high in there, but it still worked. And obviously, I was just brought down to do a quick set, and the guy couldn't believe it. I said yes to it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll come down in 15 minutes." And I opened the show, and it was great.
We can get 200, 250.
You know, there you go. But do I think they'll go in? Maybe not, because there's so many people in West Belfast. They know where it is, but they'll go, I wouldn't go in if they don't.
Jamie McPeak has his band in there.
Yep.
He'll do an event every other month, and he will sell that place out. Now you'll get 15 quid a ticket, but like we've hundreds of members. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
It's the members themselves will go.
Yes.
Plus the locals.
No, I
But
get
it's
that.
an easy sell.
Yeah.
But
No, I
I've
know.
said to Colin, my daughters just took over the events for them on the
Here
committee.
we go. This is we're going to have to cut this out because this is what's going to happen. I'm going to end up doing a gig in this polo club.
But even
No, I know.
but
Even if it's
not
a
even you,
mixed
it's
bill.
like
Yes. No,
it's
I
like
get
getting
you.
some local talent into
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah.
where it's not so much you, it's the
Yeah, we'll do it.
you know what I mean? Like if you have a couple of young talent that you go, yeah, I have a couple of good comedians here, I could do a show.
Yeah, no, I get you. Maybe do it. It's actually an idea for the Fela.
Yeah.
So we're talking about doing a West Belfast comedians Fela comedy now. There you go. Although the damage make it off when we cut this out. But yes,
the time.
good night, folks. I go on and check out and get tickets for the tour. Thank you.